Have you ever just looked at the world and wondered, is it all connected? I mean, everything, from the way a galaxy spins to the way a thought forms in your head. Is there a single set of rules for the whole show? Well, one of the sharpest minds of the 20th century, Richard Feynman, was pretty sure there was, and we're going to explore that beautiful, powerful idea right through his eyes. So this is our guy, Richard Feynman. And yeah, he was a Nobel Prize-winning physicist, but he was also just a legendary teacher. He had this incredible knack for slicing right through all the complicated stuff to show you the simple, elegant truth hiding underneath. And in his famous lectures, he wasn't just trying to teach formulas. He was trying to show his students the very soul of physics and how it's deeply tied to every other science out there. And this quote, this is the heart of it all. What Feynman is saying here is that physics isn't just another box to check in the science building. Nope. He saw it as the main trunk of the entire tree of science. Everything else, chemistry, biology, you name it, they're all just branches that grew out of that one powerful trunk. You could call it a kind of scientific reductionism, this idea that you can understand the big, complicated things by breaking them down into their simplest, most fundamental parts. So to really get what he's talking about, we have to start where he starts. We've got to look at physics itself, the great ancestor. You know, when Feynman says natural philosophy, he's taking us way back to a time before we had all these separate subjects like biology and chemistry. It was just one giant quest to understand, well, everything. And for Feynman, modern physics is the true heir to that grand, all-encompassing ambition. And really, this gets to the heart of what all science is trying to do, right? We look out at this world with all its mind-boggling complexity. You've got weather, life, stars, and we ask a simple question. Can all of this be explained by just a few basic underlying rules? Physics is that relentless hunt for the absolute, rock-bottom rules of the game. Okay, so let's see how this whole hierarchy actually builds out. We're going to start at the bottom and climb up the ladder of complexity. And that first rung, it's the link between physics and chemistry. Feynman's point here is so cool. It's not that chemistry has its own separate magical set of rules. Not at all. The laws of chemistry are a direct consequence of physics. You could say chemistry is pretty much just what happens when you take the laws of quantum mechanics, that's the physics of the super, super small, and apply them to how atoms hang out and interact with each other. What this means is that every single chemical reaction, whether it's a log burning in a fireplace or the incredibly complex stuff happening inside our own cells, it's all fundamentally a story about electricity and quantum weirdness happening between atoms. Chemistry is just physics putting on a show at the atomic level. Okay, so if chemistry is just applied physics, then what's biology? You guessed it, it's the next step up the ladder. According to Feynman, biology is the study of these fantastically complicated arrangements of molecules, all of which are still just playing by the same old rules of chemistry and physics. I mean, just think about the actual mechanics of being alive, how a nerve impulse fires, how your muscles contract, how DNA makes a copy of itself. All of it is just unbelievably sophisticated chemistry and physics at work. The basic rules of the game never changed, but the level of complexity built on top of them, it's just breathtaking. All right, we've gone from the tiny world of atoms to the complex world of life. Now let's zoom out. And I mean way out. Let's see how these same rules apply not just to the small stuff, but to the truly enormous. So now we have two sciences that deal with just immense scales. You've got geology, which is the story of our planet, and astronomy, the story of, well, everything else out there. You might think they're completely different worlds, operating on different principles, but Feynman's going to show us they're really not. Check this out. On the left, you've got a volcano, right? It's driven by intense heat and pressure from deep inside the Earth. On the right, a supernova, an exploding star. And guess what? It's driven by the exact same fundamental forces, heat, pressure, and gravity, just on a scale that's almost impossible to wrap your head around. It's all the same physics. So we've built this incredible tower, starting with physics and climbing up through chemistry, biology, geology, and astronomy. Now it's time to bring it all home and see the view from the very top of Feynman's unified vision. Feynman even takes a shot at psychology. He basically describes it as the study of what's happening inside this ridiculously complex glob of atoms we call a brain. And he's totally humble about it, admitting we're just scratching the surface here. This is the real frontier.
But the implication is crystal clear. Even something as mysterious as consciousness has to, in theory, bubble up from these same physical laws.
Look, I get it. This is all a little bit abstract, right? So how can we actually see this grand connection, this unity in our normal, everyday lives? Well, Feynman, being Feynman, had the most perfect, elegant answer you can imagine. He kicks it off with this amazing quote. Now, a poet might say this, and we'd think, oh, that's beautiful and metaphorical, but Feynman is about to show us that from a scientific view, it is literally true. So let's really look at this glass of wine. The liquid itself, the way it swirls, that's governed by the laws of fluid dynamics. That's physics. The glass holding it is made of melted sand, silica, stuff from the Earth's rocks, boom, geology. The wine's color, its aroma, its very essence comes from complex molecules created through fermentation, a biological process driven by chemistry. And the atoms themselves, the carbon, the oxygen in that wine, where did they come from? They were forged inside an ancient star that exploded billions of years ago. That's astronomy. It's all right there, in one glass. And that's really the ultimate point. We're the ones who draw these neat little lines between subjects, calling this physics and that biology. We do it to make things easier on ourselves. But nature has no idea what we're talking about. It's all just one seamless, interconnected universe running on a single set of rules. But, and this is a huge but, Feynman was the last person who would ever claim that we've got it all figured out. He was always talking about the expanding frontier of ignorance. So does this grand unified picture mean physics can explain everything? Oh, not even close. And this brings us to this final, beautifully humbling thought. Feynman himself pointed out that for all of our incredible knowledge, physicists still can't fully predict one of the most ordinary things you can imagine, the turbulent flow of plain old water running through a pipe. We can describe it, sure, but we can't truly analyze it from the ground up, from first principles. And that's just a powerful reminder, isn't it? That even in a universe with one set of rules, there are endless, gorgeous mysteries just waiting for us to figure them out.